Boo Stew, written by Donna L. Washington, illustrated by Jeffery Ebbeler. This book is dedicated to my co-authors. My son Devin, a picky eater who enjoys peanut butter and turkey sandwiches, and my daughter Dareth, who will gamely try almost anything. DLW. For Isabel and Olivia, J.E. There were always scares in Toadsuck Swamp, but Curly Locks didn't pay 'em much mind. The scares kept to themselves. They only woke up at night, and the most annoying thing about them was their hootin' and hollerin'. The only thing Curly Locks truly cared about was cookin'. Sadly, the townsfolk ran the other way when she offered 'em bat-wing brownies, cat hair cupcakes, or toad-eye toffees. It was disappointin', but her mama just said, "Do what your heart loves." Well, her heart loved to cook. One night, Curly Locks left a pan of lizard skin lasagna cooling on the windowsill. When she returned, the dish was licked clean. She peered out into Toadsuck. "Somebody out there likes my cookin'." The next morning, the mayor was singing to himself as he sat down to breakfast when an itty-bitty scare opened the window and plopped right into the middle of his pancakes. It waggled its hairy little head. "Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, gitchy gone." The mayor lit a blue streak out of that house and nearly knocked down the blacksmith. "Whoa there, Mr. Mayor, what's got you so shook? There's an itty-bitty scare sitting in the middle of my pancakes." "What's one of them critters doing out in daylight?" the blacksmith asked. "Who cares?" the mayor trembled. "I just want it out of my kitchen." The blacksmith laughed. "I'll knock that itty-bitty scare into next Tuesday." "I wouldn't go in there if I was you," the mayor whispered. "Well, you ain't me." The blacksmith stuck out his chest and strutted into the mayor's house. The itty-bitty scare was sitting in the middle of a big old mess on the mayor's table. The blacksmith was getting ready to snatch that critter up by his ear when he felt a tap, tap, tapping on his shoulder. "Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, gitchy gone." The blacksmith cut out of that house and ran smack dab into a chicken rancher. "What y'all making such a fuss over one little scare?" asked the kitchen rancher. "Because it was in my kitchen," the mayor snapped. Two scares," stammered the blacksmith. "The second one's bigger than the first." "Bah," said the chicken rancher. "All they ever do is hoot and holler. Don't you fret none, I'll handle it." "I wouldn't go in there if I were you," warned the blacksmith. "Well, you ain't me." The chicken rancher lifted his chin and swaggered into the mayor's house. Lickety-split, that chicken rancher snatched the itty-bitty scare by a tuft of hair and lassoed the other with his rope. "You scares don't scare me," he roared. The house started a-shakin'. The rancher's knees started a-quakin'. Thump, thump, whump. Thump, thump, whump. "Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, gitchy gone." The chicken rancher nearly flew out of that house. "There's 3 of them," he hollered. "The last one's huge." Stories about the scares spread like a kerosene fire. Curly Locks was heading into town when she saw folks running through the streets. "Where y'all going?" she yelled. "There's scares wrecking the mayor's kitchen," the dressmaker hollered back. Curly Locks remembered the lizard skin lasagna that was licked clean from her windowsill. She thought, "I bet nobody's tried cooking for 'em. I better get over there right away." A frightful din was coming out of the mayor's house when Curly Locks arrived. "Easy there, little lady," the mayor called. "There's 3 scares in there," the blacksmith added. "I hear 'em," Curly Locks replied. "I'm going to make 'em something to eat." "Bless your heart," said the innkeeper. "That don't sound like a good idea." Maybe it is, the barber exclaimed. Her cooking could drive anything away. Curly Locks walked up the front steps. I wouldn't go in there if I were you, yelled the chicken rancher. Well, you ain't me. And with that, Curly Locks clutched her basket, squared her shoulders, and marched into the house. The door shut behind her, and the scares got quiet. Curly Locks peeked into the kitchen. It was a frightful mess. She put her big-bellied pot on the pot-bellied stove, took out possum grease and toadstool, and set to work. The cupboard burst open, and an itty-bitty scare jumped out. Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, gitchy gone. Curly Locks didn't bat an eye. I'll go if you like, but if I do, you'll never get a taste of my famous boo stew. Boo stew? Ooh! The itty-bitty scare sat down at the table and banged his bowl and spoon together. Said Curly Locks. First we clean off the table, then we wash our hands. Curly Locks was adding powdered beetle and lizard spit to the pot when she felt a tap, tap, tapping on her shoulder. Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, gitchy gone! Curly Locks stiffened, but didn't let on that she was startled. I'll go if you like, but if I go, you'll never get a taste of my famous boo stew. Boo stew? Ooh! The middling scare clapped his scaly hands. Clean the floor first, said Curly Locks, then set the table. Curly Locks added moose ear broth, toenail clippings, and gnat juice. Thump, thump, wump. Thump, thump, wump. The biggest, thumpiest, wumpiest scare of all came a gnashing his scare teeth, a waggling his scare claws, and a clomping his scare feet. Gitchy boo, gitchy bun, gitchy goo, gitchy gone. Curly Locks gripped her spoon so tight it nearly snapped in two. I'll go if you like, but if I do, you'll never get a taste of my famous boo stew. Boo stew? Ooh! The big scare licked his jowls in anticipation. Clean the ceiling, please. By the time the kitchen was put right, the stew was piping hot and ready to eat. Curly Locks took a taste and smiled. I hope y'all are hungry, 'cause this might just be the best batch of boo stew east of the Mississippi. Those scares ate until they were full as ticks in high summer. They licked their fingers, they licked their toes, they licked each other's toes. Curly Locks didn't mind their sorry manners. Why, she'd never seen a single soul enjoy her cooking so. Carry yourselves on back to Toadsuck Swamp, cooed Curly Locks, and I'll make boo stew and lots of other things for you, and your friends, every night. Some say that was the finest deal ever struck in those parts. The scares got themselves a heap of delicious food. With their bellies full, they didn't spend all night hootin' and hollerin'. The townsfolk got plenty of sleep now that Toadsuck was quiet, and the mayor got a fine tale to tell for years to come. And Curly Locks? She got a load of hearty eaters who appreciated her cooking. That was the best thing of all. That was Boo Stew by Donna L. Washington and Jeffery Ebbeler. And this is EDU Kidspace. Subscribe for more stories, books, and lessons. Hit the bell button so you're notified when I put out new videos. And if you want to support larger efforts in making educational resources for everyone, available for everyone, you can support the crowdfunding campaign that we have going on to take some classic, tried and true Montessori materials for the sciences and history and some other biology. Yeah, it's great. And we want to make these great lessons available for everyone, anywhere in the world, forever. We just need a little help to get started. So if you have some extra cash, hit that link, check it out. And if you don't, you can still hit that link, check it out, maybe share it with your friends, and help us create awesome educational resources for everyone. Thanks.